Who's ready for the start of the adventure weekend? Which adventure weekend is that?
Okay. All right, but you need a camera.
Well, that would only happen if I clicked turn on camera.
Yes, you need to turn on the camera.
Horror will rise. Oh, it didn't work.
No.
Because I switched cameras.
I see.
Video capture device. Edit.
That's a little better. Yes, as long as you're... yeah.
Blanket's crooked.
My jacket's crooked. Is that
Blanket's
crooked. I don't care about the crooked. It's the fact that I'm not in the image at all is more to the point. Yes, that's a little better. There.
Yeah, we'll move my monitor because it's hard to move a camera.
It is. All right, that's better.
I can move the camera up.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi there, people. Can you hear us?
This weekend, considering Roberta's been posting about this, her event after, and another tomorrow.
Yeah, that's...
Well, it must be Adventure Weekend. Welcome to, what's the stream called?
Colossal 2.
Oh, but, I mean, we have a general term. Transolar Games. Welcome to the Transolar Games live stream.
I see.
This is Colossal 2, or Two Tales of Two Cities.
Yes. This is the second tale. Okay. We played it
most catas only have one tail.
Yeah, I know. But that's because they have a T-A-I-L rather than a T-A-L-E.
I think it was about 6 weeks ago. We postponed this one several times.
We did. Unfortunately. Lori was the voice of Smod in the remake. True. Yes, I wouldn't be able to tell you that. If you'd asked me, I did that. But, oh well.
I saw references to it here and there.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
No, I don't actually remember. It was that good,
King's Quest 3, totally not Medusa.
Gotcha. Well, good.
Hello,
I guess it was typecasting, Hi, Roy. Welcome.
Well, Jason Michael was asking whether we get letters and email from game developers that say that basically Quest for Glory inspired them to make their own role-playing adventure games. I said, well, yes, we do get those. I wouldn't say frequently, but definitely many. And I don't really keep track of them. And that's because we don't need to be entirely tied up in our own ego. But I did have an interesting experience the other day. I played Bridge on Bridge Base Online, which I do weekly. And we come to a new table with me and my partner, and my partner and I. Let's be grammatical here.
Yes.
And one of the other players says, "Hi, Corey Cole, big fan."
It's like,
so,
yeah.
We get this stuff all, just completely randomly.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, great, fun.
Yes. Hello, everybody. We're glad to see you. Glad to be back here.
And you're all big fans too, and we appreciate it.
Yes, we have been gone and come back from Hawaii. We had many adventures on Hawaii. Yes, and
Carol Coase says that he heard that Quest for Glory helped to inspire Hero U. Sounds suspicious to me. Yep, we're suspect.
Yeah, we are your chief suspects in that. Yes, it is true.
And doesn't provide sustenance, though.
No, nothing's providing sustenance in. I tuned in at the right time. Well, good for you, QFG Book.
Any time is the right time.
Yes, any time that you.
And there will be video on demand. You can download this for up to 2 weeks. And when I remember, I put them up on YouTube, but I think I missed the last two.
Okay. So, Zamatra, happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Yay!
What was the best part of your vacation? Let's see.
Our trip up the one-lane road?
Yes, that's got to be the highlight, but that really wasn't the best. Yes.
That was the scary. We had
an adventure.
We had a King's Quest moment.
Yes, we did indeed.
We decided to do this tour in reverse. The tour involved going up a backcountry road that it warned us turned into a one-lane road at some point. And we happened to be at the other end of it after doing some other things.
But first of all, we're driving a Mondo
Yes, what was it? It was a Armada,
Armada.
Nissan Armada.
It is bigger than the biggest car I've ever owned, and I've owned a Suburban. It was probably the size of the Suburban, actually.
And myself, I drove a Ford Focus and a Saturn, so I like driving small cars.
Yes.
So I'm driving this thing.
Corey's driving that because we have in the car my son, my daughter-in-law, their baby. We had their friend Vincent. So we had a full house in that
Wasn't
car.
quite a full house because our daughter-in-law's sister wasn't feeling well.
So she didn't make it. So, but there was.
She chose wisely.
Yes, as it turns out.
We were actually on the island of Maui. We've been to the state of Hawaii exactly twice. The previous time, somebody subscribed.
Yay! Thank you.
Thank you. 5 months. We've been on the Big Island, as it's called, which is Hawaii. When Michael was like 5 months old, and so now Michael has his own 1-year-old child, and we went with them.
So Corey gets to drive this monstrosity that was well named as an Armada.
We had the entire Spanish Armada.
We had the entire one, yes, and he's driving this one-lane road that isn't straight. It's all about as twisty and turny a road as I've ever been on.
As the passages in Zurich, or was it
Twisty Passages?
Twisty Passages, all like was
Adventure.
Colossal Cave Adventure.
Yes, indeed. We'll get back to that.
We are going to be sneaking in little Colossal Cave Adventure references all through this.
Yes. So he's driving this along hairpin turns, and I mean literally. I have never seen turns that were tighter than this, and he's driving the monstrosity, and there's cliff on one side and cliff on the other. One going up, one going down.
And Kettleco has just made a subtle King's Quest reference by spelling Zizzy more or less backwards. It's actually scrambled.
So you're saying it's like
Zizix is backwards of I think it's XYZZX, something like that. Zizix, Zizzy, I don't know. I can't remember the magic word now. I'm in trouble.
No, he'll never get out.
Anyway, so yes, there is of course a reference between King's Quest and Colossal Cave Adventure.
So yes, then we're driving this stupid road, one lane, come around a curve, and there is another car.
Yeah. Now, mind you, this tour basically says, okay, this is a narrow one-lane road for part of it, and we're thinking, okay, so there's like a half mile or a mile of one lane, and we're doing reverse direction, so
our tour, the auto tour, is telling us things in reverse.
In reverse, and we managed to. This other car's coming, so I managed to find a place where I can pull out, no problem at all. And mostly they were pulling out for me, so...
we're on the cliff side, the downward cliff side, so yes, the upward cliff side...
Yeah, people going upwards are supposed to back up downwards.
Yep.
And that's all going fine, but then there's mile after mile after mile. It's like 10 miles of one lane.
Or so it seemed, because you're crawling along the, at 20 miles an hour.
And it felt like the road is getting narrower and narrower.
And it rained that day, so the road is slicker and slicker.
And... I blame the fact that I was the designated driver after the vodka tasting, and that I should not have listened to the people that did the vodka tasting.
I see.
As a safe and sane designated driver, I should have said, "You're effing kidding us, aren't you?"
No, we had no idea what we were going for.
Well, we found out.
We did. So, at any rate, we finally come to a turn around, and we're just ran around a curve, and there comes another car, and that car is not quite as big as our car, but it's big.
Another SUV.
And there's no way we can go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm basically, I say, okay, how much room do I have? And Lori opens the door and looks down and says, none.
Well, you see, there's these posts that stick upright that have lights on them or have a reflective thing. And I look down, and we're over the bottom of the one that's off the edge, that has been knocked all over. So
which might have been a clue as to why it was knocked over.
Yeah, and it's like you can't. There's no place to go. And this guy got out of his car and says, "You guys gotta move." And he says, "We can't go back. we're this monster truck, and we're not going back.
Says,
and he's not.
He says, "Yeah, just pull over there further," and we can't. So finally, after about 5 minutes of this
stalemate, because he isn't moving.
Yep. Neither one of us is willing to back down, and so we're playing chicken.
Yep.
We see a huge pickup truck, oversized pickup truck, coming up the road behind him, and say, "Oh my God, it's about to get worse."
Yes.
Except it then stops, and a guy dressed in orange gets out of it, and walks over, looks at our car, looks at the other car, and tells the other car to back up a little, which he does, and motions us to pull forward, just straight forward a couple feet, which we do, and then motions the other car to go by, which he does, except he scrapes the heck out of the side of his car.
We had to pull the windows in.
We folded in the side
mirrors, both of us, because there was no real room.
Anyway, he got past us, but by scraping the heck out of his car, so either ruined his car or we'll have a bill from his rental car.
Yeah, it's going to be a rental.
And we're like, okay, well, that's nice. But now there's this huge pickup truck blocking the road. So the guy waves at us, gets back in his truck, and they proceed to back down this windy road about a mile.
Yes, in reverse, and at about 20 miles an hour. I mean, we're going 20 miles an hour forward because
we're like 10
because we don't dare, and he's just whoa. So that's what.
So we drive down the road and eventually get to a point where there's a turnout, and then he waves, he goes past us, and actually I think he went back. He pulled out somewhere.
He did. He pulled
ready
back.
For the next one. This apparently happens all the time there.
Well, and then afterwards, when we get to the other end, we find out that most rental car agreements on Hawaii say
do not take
this
particular road. Yes.
It's like, oh, why didn't they put that in big red letters on the front?
We should have read the agreement.
So yeah.
So it was a lot like King's Quest, but we did not actually fall off the stairs and die.
Yes, we were lucky that way.
There's a lovely scene in Leisure Suit Larry 2, I think it is, in which you're going along a narrow path along the side of a cliff. And you fall off and bounce back up. No. I'm not talking about a different one.
Okay.
And it basically keeps track of the number of times you fall off, but it's basically it's a joke about King's Quest.
You're not talking Monkey Island?
I'm not talking Monkey Island.
Really, I didn't know.
Monkey Island is the other one where you
hit a rubber tree.
You fall off, and a minute later you bounce back up, and it just says rubber tree.
Yeah. So yes, that was probably the most adventurous part of our thing. Although we did go on not a whale watching. We went on a snorkeling and boat tour that was surrounded by whales. So we saw an awful lot of whales. And then when we actually went snorkeling,
I discovered I'm a complete coward, but I kind of knew that.
Well,
I put on my snorkeling equipment. I went into the water, scraped my knee on the ramp. Got into the water, started paddling a little bit, put my head under the water and tried to take a breath, and immediately grabbed a big mouthful of salt water.
Yeah.
And Lori did the same. The difference is that I panicked. You got an asthma attack and had to get back on the boat.
You weren't the only one. I mean, both Annette and Michael wimped out on it too.
Yeah, so our son and daughter-in-law both went in, tried it, decided they didn't know how to use the snorkel, and got back out.
Yeah, and
and Lori instead kept going.
Yeah, I kept going. I got a mouthful of water too, but it didn't, and it was hard. I mean, I haven't done that since Michael was 5 months old, and so there. Yes, I had to breathe, had to learn to breathe, and had to calm myself to actually do this. And then afterwards, I went snuba diving.
Snuba, yes.
Snuba, which is just you've got the
which is like death by snoo, isn't it?
No, it's the scuba tank. The tank of air is sitting up there on a floating platform. It isn't on your back, and you're sharing it with one other person. So you both have lifelines of breath coming down from that. And I had to narrowly avoid getting bumped by a sea turtle. So that was really cool. And so that was the adventure.
Good pictures of Lori on that, but I can tell you that
I removed them.
I can tell you she had a look.
They were awful, Corey.
I know. But she had a look of just total bliss as she was in the water there. So that was a happy Lori.
Yeah, I haven't been swimming in years too, so that was the other thing.
Her family
just
used to have a
Michael...
swimming pool, so she had a little more experience with it than I did. We never really taught Michael to swim, which is kind of a regret of mine.
Oh well. So it was an exciting, adventureful weekend.
So this was...
No, you're not allowed to touch turtles. He almost bumped into me, though.
Now, what did happen to us is we had a choice.
Thank you, Bitmorsel, for subscribing with Prime.
Yay, yes. Bitmorsel. Thanks. As we had a choice of the snorkeling and snuba tour...
or the whale watching.
Or the whale watching. And what happened on our snorkeling tour is we got about, I don't know, half mile out or something like that. At which point the boat had to stop because it was surrounded by a pod of whales.
Yay, Buck Rogers, thank you!
There were just whales everywhere, and we spent about 20 minutes stopped there and then moved on a little ways, and there were more whales. And so we saw an immense number of whales, and eventually decided to cancel the second tour that we'd scheduled to do whale watching
because
we
couldn't
possibly get more whales than we got on this snorkeling tour.
Yeah.
So it was
the
quite
perfect
wonderful.
time of year for the whales. That's where they come to breed, and basically they were all there. We even saw dolphins. I actually got a picture of the dolphin, and a picture of the whale doesn't look like much in water. I'm sorry.
OSU says it's quite impressive how well suited the human form is for the aquatic, and I beg to differ. That I can never figure out when swimming. I was always told, like, turn your head to the side to get a breath of air, and if you are subject to panic attacks and asthma attacks, you're not well suited for the water.
Whereas I'm flashing back to my childhood of watching Jacques Cousteau out there in his undersea water adventures, and finally at the end I said, I don't need to use my arms. Everybody just uses their paddle foot to move around. So finally I remembered how to do the actual snorkeling the way they pros used to do it. And it was like going back, doing something off a bucket list that I didn't have.
There we go. I'll go more with Buck Rogers. We're just smart enough as a species to figure out how to best use our imperfect form in water.
Okay, there
I'll go
we
with
go.
that. Fairly well streamlined, yes, but not rigged to live there constantly.
No.
We don't have gills, and breathing is definitely a learned experience, breathing in the water.
It is. So
I took swimming lessons as a kid, but you got to keep practicing. I can't, they also tell you about bicycles. You never forget to ride a bicycle. Nonsense! I tried riding a bicycle when my son was young, about 25 years ago, and kept falling.
Oh, well. Some people just aren't made to do physical stuff.
I guess. I did go for a walk today. I did something
very good.
Slightly physical.
So let's see. It's been a couple weeks since then. We've had odds and ends come up that we've had to deal with.
Postpone to streams. But here we are.
Yes, we are back. And
we're going to go back to our regular every 2 week schedule.
Yes. So we will be doing this regularly again.
If we can think of enough to talk about.
No, we can always find something to talk about. Today we were going to do more of the Tale of Two Cities.
I was going to tell people on Twitch that we're live. Did anyone do
didn't,
that?
Did anybody do this?
I don't mean Twitch. I mean Discord.
You did start the announcement.
There's a woot.
There's a woot. It's a woot. And there's
Here we are live.
Yes. The stream.
Okay.
Yes.
Send now.
Send now. Yay.
Okay, I have done that. I have done my streaming duties.
6 weeks without Transsolar game streams. Oh, are you familiar with blockchain technology and rifts?
I kind of am. Actually, about 15 or 20 years ago, something like that. I'm a member of a email list that's based on the Hackers Conference, the Hackers mailing list. And someone said, you should all try out this thing called Bitcoin and mine Bitcoin. And, maybe someday it'll be worth something. At that point, it was had no actual monetary value. And I said, well, I don't really want to, tie up my computer all night and use electricity and stuff on it. So I didn't do it. but I could be a Bitcoin millionaire just from having farmed it when it was less than 50 cents a Bitcoin to now when it's like, what, $80,000 or something Bitcoin.
I doubt if it's that high anymore.
Yeah, it's over 50,000.
Oh, okay. Well, we did good.
But I chose not to become rich, and then we had...
We've done a lot of that.
And we recently got a lecture on NFTs from a fan in the Philippines. Have I got that right? Yeah. Who does NFTs? And it just feels too, exploitive. And I think that it would be the same thing as with computer games. That the real key to it is marketing your work, and we're not very good at that.
Yeah. Now, that Microsoft owns Activision, well, mostly, but yeah.
Any hopes of bringing back Quest for Glory? Well, in the past, Lori is, whenever asked the question, saying she doesn't really want to do another Quest for Glory. She finished that one. Mm-hmm. But I'll bet you could be talked into it.
Maybe, with enough money. But, I mean, honestly, Road to Redemption was the extension of the series, so I'm still writing in that world. The Summer Days at Hero U.
Yeah, the difference on the Hero U series is they're shoestring games, done in very small budgets, and working with Activision and Microsoft. Potentially, we could do a Quest for Glory or something like that
if they're going to pour enough money into it. Yes,
with VR, AR, something like that. With serious budgets, then it would be kind of cool to do a movie quality game.
I've heard that blockchains are bad for the environment. That's what I have heard too, because of the massive amount of electricity.
Yeah, it depends on the blockchain. So the original one, Bitcoin, is horrendously bad for the environment. The whole thing is based around proof of work. So you earned Bitcoins, you mined Bitcoins by solving very complex mathematical problems, and that work essentially becomes what you're doing is basically verifying, coming out with the answers to verify chains of data, so that people can see that yes, this is a valid financial transaction, but the amount of energy that goes into that mining is extreme, and that when it's done to the level that it's being done now, with everybody wanting to get rich from Bitcoins, that's really bad for the environment. There are other blockchain structures that supposedly use much less energy.
Let's see.
More games in Gloriana. If the question is more games in Gloriana rather than more Quest for Glory, it makes more sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Gloriana is effectively Earth Prime, so...
no, it's not much like Earth anymore.
It's got the same geography as Earth, more or less.
Basically, no, well, with variation,
well,
but yeah.
More or less.
Mm-hmm. It was easier just to set that kind of thing so that people had familiarity. One of our goals with designing was that people wouldn't be so lost when they get put into these places that they couldn't figure out, there had to be an analog to the knowledge the player has so that you've got context.
So Dr. Riley thanks us for the world we created for them. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Schumann prefers proof of steak, but you wouldn't if you were vegan.
Yeah, really.
You'd want artificial, tofu steak. I suppose you could have a proof of tofu steak. Anyway, so, the problem is that most of the NFT artwork I've seen is not really what I would consider artwork. It's something that's maybe suitable for doing a 8-bit pixel game, and the idea that
not well.
people, not well.
I mean, I've seen an awful lot better art than what they're doing there.
So the idea that people are selling this as art that you can own. Well, you could take a kid's elementary school kid's drawing and put it up in your refrigerator and you own art.
Yeah.
And that's very good if you have a personal connection to the artist, but other than that, it's not so hot.
Yeah. So Dr. Riley loved the Quest for Glory growing up, and now he reads the strategy guide to his son as bedtime stories. Yes. Okay, that's fun.
Yeah, so Simon Melkman made a kid's book based on Quest for Glory.
Which is wonderful.
I think it might be on Amazon. I'm not sure. Look up...
no, I don't know that he did. No, I don't think he can.
Oh, he's on...
he's got his own...
he's on Etsy, isn't he?
Etsy, yeah. Try Etsy.
Maybe on Etsy.
Maybe on Etsy. I needed Roberta here to
I had links to it, but anyway, so So yeah, he has the Quest for Glory kids book based on Heroes Quest.
Which is fun. It is beautiful. It really is a lot of fun.
He sent us a copy. Yeah.
There's somewhere, I don't know.
It's kind of sticking out, I think, a little.
Is it? I'll see if it's still
Lori
here.
will see if she can search for it behind the...
behind the curtain.
She put a futon behind us so we'd have a backdrop.
Yes, the curtain. The man behind the curtain.
It's not important.
Yeah.
So let's see. NFTs. Yeah, so our friend is a real artist, the one in the Philippines. But, she was still doing, basically, the idea is quantity over quality. So she was making like a 1,000.
There we go.
Yep. Oh, it's all glary.
It is all glary. Have to
I'll angle it down so it won't be so much glare.
And then
Quest for Glory, so you want to be a hero. And here's the back cover. And this is an unauthorized and unofficial children's book adaptation by Simon Melkman, based on the classic game by Lorianne and Corey Cole.
So there's the first page. You can just show it.
All right, we'll show you all the pages, so they don't need it.
Yeah, they don't need to buy it.
He isn't actually selling it. He's just making it available for self-printing.
But it is a lot of fun. Yes.
And he even used the font style from the game.
Long ago in Valley Cold, young man bright and brave and bold came to Spielberg, troubled town, seeking glory and renown. So you can easily read these to your kids as they're going to bed and just have a grand old time, and they will be Quest for Glory fans for life. Yes.
So thank you, Simon, for doing something really creative with our work. Would anyone buy a Hero U NFT? I would. Well, you can do that, actually. Steam has what they call trading cards or something like that. And there are Hero U trading cards that you can collect. And those are more or less equivalent to a Hero U NFT.
Except we don't make much money off
We don't, we make some fraction of a cent or something.
But then I'm sure you do with NFTs too. Okay, so anyway.
So anyway, we're not really interested in doing blockchain because we would think of it as exploitive, and we're not actually interested in exploitive. We're not actually interested in getting rich at this point.
No, we just want to get by.
We just want to get by like most people. And we're getting by pretty well, so we're fine.
Yeah.
Putting on some weight. We our meals in Hawaii and Maui, we were constantly eating these major meals.
Everything was hugely expensive too.
Yeah,
so
hundreds of dollars per meal for 7 people, so 6 people.
It was not a cheap vacation. We do not recommend it. Would not recommend because honestly,
I would.
Well,
it was wonderful. It was fun.
If you got the money, it'll be fun.
And just walking along the beach and sun and sand. Tried not to get too sunburned, but we did get some sunburn.
Yeah, it was hard not to.
I got blisters in both.
Yeah,
both
that
feet.
was the worst.
Yeah, on like day 2, and so we were walking around with blisters the whole time. You had a blister too, didn't you?
I did.
Back of the foot.
Well, I had not blisters, but abrasions. And
scrapes.
Yes.
Friend who is a resident enjoys snarking at us whenever we complain about prices.
Yeah, you don't know what
they weren't outrageous.
Yeah, they were. All of them were. But but it was amazing. Yes, you could see why people spend their lives there.
So what it's like to make indie games? I would just commented. An acquaintance of mine is Bruce F. Webster. And he's posted some stuff at Quora, as I have. And I know him because...
Hi, Molly. Keep going.
What?
Keep going.
Ah, hi, Molly. I thought I heard Emily.
Oh, no.
I had a girl I liked named Emily in college.
Don't get sidetracked.
Anyway,
Focus yourself.
Bruce Webster answered a question on Quora, which was, is it even possible to make a successful game without a relatively high budget? Which I would first say, what's your definition of successful? But Bruce Webster answers that and says, yes, it's possible. People have. And he says, forgive me for a lengthy personal story. Trust me that it's relevant. He says, back in the mid-1980s, I had my own industry commentary and product review column, according to Webster, in Byte magazine, which at that point was huge. It was like 400 pages plus. And he got paid a very generous amount, equivalent to a hefty full-time salary, just for writing this monthly column. And so the question is, how did he get that sweet gig? And he says, well, in 1980, I pitched a column on computers and gaming to a small niche magazine, The Space Gamer, for which he did a column for a penny a word. 1981, a friend of his from high school, Wayne Holder, was selling as a side hustle his spelling check program, The Word, and it got a glowing review from Phil Lemons, who was West Coast editor of Byte, so Bruce joined Wayne to work on this, and got a couple gigs for other magazines. Did a thing with Wayne, a game called Sundog: A Frozen Legacy, which I liked a lot.
Oh, did he do that one?
Yeah, he wrote Sundog.
Okay.
And
there's a lot more stuff. Yeah, God, that's a whole biography.
Yeah. So this company is. I'm
yes, you have to.
I'm definitely editing this down.
Yeah.
But anyway, that company was FTL Games, was best known for Dungeon Master, and then they also did Sundog. But they were also best known for, on the Atari ST, doing a product called The Word Plus. And that was Wayne Holder's extended version of his product. And it was amazing. You could use it for solving crosswords. You could use it for solving word scrambles. You would basically fill in letters, and then it would do wildcards and such. And had a pretty extensive dictionary. It could do word frequency, letter frequency counts, and all kinds of cool stuff. That was really good for puzzles. And anyway, this series of events led Bruce to, basically become familiar to Phil Lemon, who eventually went to work as an editor for Byte. And since Bruce had one of the first Macintoshes as a result of working with FTL Games, he agreed to write a review of the Macintosh for Byte. And then they tried to... Long story short is he ended up getting a monthly column for Byte magazine that made him a decent living. And so it says, so now I've chronicled this 5-year path as I work my way up the writing ladder. The guy who asked me about this looks at me a touch irritated and says, so you're telling me it's all just luck and who you know? And Bruce says, I was taken aback and a bit irritated myself, but as I reflected on it, I realized he had a point. As the years and decades have gone by, I've come to recognize what major factors, luck, and who I know have played all through my professional life. Doesn't mean he didn't have to work hard to develop his skills and knowledge, but that exchange nearly 40 years ago has kept him level-headed about what he's able to do. So game development success with a modest budget is possible, and it depends on a lot on luck and who you know.
Yes, exactly, and we have to say the same thing.
Yeah, so our life, has been a series of lucky, and some of the luck you make. I use the analogy of, the old merry-go-rounds, carousels. They used to have a dispenser that would put out brass rings, and if you were really wanted to take a risk, you could stand up on your horse and try to catch one of the brass rings as you went by it.
Yes, in those days when everybody didn't sue everybody else,
nobody had seat belts, and
there was no safety whatsoever.
Fell off and got hurt all the time, and everybody laughed.
Yeah.
So catching the brass ring, you got to basically take risks in order to make your own luck. And so that was basically how we ended up at Sierra's.
Taking risk.
Yeah. First I quit a pretty lucrative job in order to make my own desktop publishing software, which I failed. And discovered that...
not failed. You created it.
I got it done.
Yeah,
I got it
done.
That was I got it done, but we were dropped by the publisher, so in that sense it failed.
Yes.
I still could have sold it as an indie thing.
Yeah.
And started getting sick because of Bay Area pollution. And we heard about this company called Sierra that was looking for a role-playing game designer. And so we grabbed for the brass ring, and we jumped to Sierra.
Ribbons of distinction, yes. You know the Coles, yes. I'm not sure we're going to get you in any doors, though. Sorry.
What doors they want to be gotten in?
No, I mean, it's the who you know. So, we're not exactly the best of possible people.
Now, Ken Williams and Roberta Williams, they're pretty good people to know. And in fact, they helped us with our Kickstarter.
Yes.
We had like 2 weeks to run on our Kickstarter, and it was looking like we were going to miss the goal, and Kickstarter's all or nothing. And I talked to Ken, and I knew he had a mailing list of people that enjoyed Sierra games, and asked if he could mention us in the mailing list. And at first he was reluctant, but then he said, "Yeah, okay, I'll do you. You make a post, and I'll put it up there." And he got out to about 10,000 Sierra fans from that, and that helped us get over the line on a Kickstarter, along with many fans who made extraordinary efforts to help us succeed in that.
Yes.
So that we could lose our shirts making a game.
That was very.
But hey, wait! We made shirts instead.
Yes,
this is my 30
there
Years of Glory shirt.
Yeah, we did that. And
Lori has the Hero U shirt.
Yes, the heroes of Hero U.
And the story of this is when we worked for Sierra in the course of 10 years at Sierra and making 6 major games. I think we got T-shirts twice.
Well, we got 2 sets of T-shirts for the final game, for what it was worth. Yeah.
Yeah, the final game took 3 years. So
yeah, I know they gave us but it was a different crew anyway.
All the other games took a year.
Yes.
Anyway, Ken says that his book about the rise and fall of Sierra, it's called Not All Fairy Tales Have Happy Endings, is a relative bestseller on Amazon. It's like in 1,000th place or something book sales on Amazon. That's like second in the category of programming books. It's not really a programming book, it's really a business book, and I'm surprised it isn't listed in that category.
Yes.
But if you want to know about the joys and terror of starting your own game company,
yeah.
That's a pretty good book on it. But the latest news that probably everyone has heard, but maybe there's one or two you haven't.
All of you have heard this one.
Is that Ken and Roberta... So Ken got bored during the pandemic and wrote this book, which is doing very well on Amazon.
And Roberta wrote her book.
And Roberta wrote a book. Roberta wrote a novel, which we have not read.
But that was Remembering Tara or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's a historical fantasy based on her family's history of leaving Ireland.
Yeah, so that's a...
So they both wrote books, and then Ken started noodling around with Unity, because he'd heard all these games using Unity, and said that'd be fun. And Roberta asked him what he's doing.
Thank you, Brainiac.
And he said, I'm making this educational game that's going to teach people how to program in Unity. And Roberta says, oh, okay. And Ken says, well, if we wanted to do a game with this, do you have any ideas for, what kind of game I should do? And Roberta thought about it and said, well, how about the game that got us started? The one that, first introduced me to the concept of adventure games, which was called Advent, or the Colossal Cave Adventure, on the Apple II that Ken brought home. Actually, it was before that. It was he had a teletype terminal connecting to the ARPANET, which is the predecessor to the Internet, and they played Colossal Cave Adventure.
The distant predecessor. It's sort of more like a Neanderthal, so it went its own direction.
Yeah, in its own way. Yeah, Mosaic was an amateur project out of Stanford that ended up turning into the World Wide Web, which made the net happen.
Yeah, I keep...
That's future.
Yeah.
But anyway, there we were. Ken Williams' book is free to read right now for Amazon Prime members.
Yay!
Cool.
So read it now while you don't have to pay for
yeah.
So Ken doesn't get any royalties. That's it. Yeah.
It's not one of your lovely fantasy books about how wonderful it is to make computer games. It's all about the business of running a game company rather than about the games themselves. But it mentions the games in passing. Mm-hmm. I think I think my name is in there 3 times in single lines.
Yes. So at any rate, you were continuing
But I was talking about the ARPANET. I was talking about Colossal Cave Adventure.
Yes.
So Roberta says, I really like that game, and and then I played every adventure game I could get my hands on, all the text adventures, and that eventually led to Ken and Roberta starting Sierra. And Ken says, okay. And Roberta goes away to do other stuff, and about 2 hours later, comes back in to see what Ken's up to, and Ken says, that idea you had about Colossal Cave? Roberta says, yeah. Well, I just talked to Don Woods. Okay, so Colossal Cave Adventure was originally written by Will Crowther after his divorce as a game his children could play. That would be about caving and about a cave that a system he really enjoyed.
Right.
They turned into a fantasy D&D game. And Woods picked it up from there and added a point scoring system and turned the game into what it became, and which is the one that Roberta had seen. And so Ken had managed to get the phone number for Don Woods and called him up and said, hey, Don, do you actually own the rights to this game? What would you think if we were to do a game based on it? And Don says, well, as long as you don't claim it's your own game, go ahead, go for it. So
that's what they're doing. They're creating Colossal Cave, which when my introduction to computers was visiting Corey at his place in Westchester, I guess, or
it was Westchester. Near the Los Angeles airport.
And I've never actually seen a real computer or a home computer, at any rate.
Yeah, so I had the homebrew system I had built. It was a S100 bus, Z80 based,
called
CPM.
Lorelei.
Named Lorelei. Might have been named after her.
No, it was predated me.
Probably.
Yes,
I don't know. Nothing predates.
I know.
Oh, come on. You're almost as old as I am.
Yes, I know it.
Anyway, so I had been playing Advent on that.
Adventure. It wasn't Advent.
Adventure.
It was not Colossal Cave. It was called Adventure.
And I said, hey, Lori, because I had to go to work, and said, here, try this out.
So, yes. So I played that game, and I got very frustrated, which was my first introduction to A, computers, B, frustrating adventure games, and C, almost destroying a computer by not knowing how to move floppies or turn it off or anything like that. And so therefore,
hey, I destroyed my brother's TRS-80 Coco.
Yes. So yeah, no thank you. And yet here I am. So what can you say?
Oh, I wrecked an HP 2100 mini computer one, or almost wrecked it.
Okay.
I put a memory board in backwards, but turned out that just made it not work. And
well, good for you.
They were designed for safety. So the
unlike the Trash 80, where
the Coco, I put in a cartridge while it was turned on and said, why not? And there went zap, and there went the CPU. And I looked at the schematic and discovered there was no buffering between the power supply, the CPU, and the cartridge. So yeah, made a short circuit to the CPU.
Yeah.
Bad design.
Hello, hi Mary, hi people, hi Ronald, hi everybody.
Molly's still here. Whoops.
So anyway, yeah.
So they decided to make this game, and I said, "Oh, okay, fine. That's a weird thing to do." Mm-hmm. But then Ken showed off a video of it. It's up on YouTube somewhere or other. I should have gotten a link here. Talking a short interview about the game, and he has about a minute of game footage in there, and it looks awesome. And I'll bring it up later.
Okay, fine.
I'll find that.
You'll find it. Okay, fine. You can do that.
So yeah, the game looks awesome. It's really looks atmospheric, and actually could be really fun. And that's the game that started Ken and Roberta, and it's the game that started Lori and me as
effectively
computer game developers.
Yeah.
So my experience with Advent went back before that adventure, and that I was working. I actually went to a community fair at UCLA in Westwood, California, and they had teletypes in there that were tied
Yay,
into.
Bill, thank you.
Yay! They're tied into BBN and University of Utah and other places. And someone there had adventure running, and I played and got up to this dragon, and the guy who's watching me says, "Ha! I'll bet you don't know how to do this," and immediately proceeds to give me a spoiler, entirely ruining the game for me. But did get me past the puzzle immediately. So there's a tricky out-of-the-box issue of how do you beat a dragon when you're just a lone adventurer.
Okay, fine.
So I was familiar with it there and touched it again the following year when I was took a year off from school to work for GIAC Computers in Canada, and discovered that somebody had converted this game from Fortran to ZOPL, which is the language GIAC used. And I played the game through and finished it and got 349 out of 350 points. And that drove me insane. Where is that last point? I did everything. Why didn't I get my final point? So I contacted the person that converted it and got a copy of the source code, a 9-track mag tape, and loaded it in and saw a comment that says, "Do the right thing," with the Dwarven magazines. I said, Dwarven magazines? Okay, yeah, I got those. But what's the right thing? And so I ended up debugging the program, putting in debug statements to tell me when I was in this room that it says to do the right thing. And said, that's the connection. And got my final point.
Yeah.
So I had already played all the way through Colossal Cave before introducing Lori to Adventure. Yeah, the Adventure of the Atari 2600 is an entirely different game, but it was inspired by Colossal Cave. Yeah. It's a very simplistic game. Lori had an Atari 2600 as a kid, as a teenager.
So Molly says, my dad and I had just been chatting about networking and who you know, and this dovetailed very nicely into that conversation in a cool way. And Dad was watching y'all with me for a bit. Okay, yeah.
Hi, Dad.
Yeah. And so, yes, exactly. Who you know, it's important to make contacts. That's what it comes down to.
Well, that was always the story of why you go to schools like Harvard and Yale and Princeton.
It's not the schooling.
Yeah, it's not that you get a better education. It's that you meet people with rich parents.
Yeah, that's
I just answered a Cora question about why do white businesses seem to succeed more often than black businesses.
Yeah, because they got the right
capitalization and contacts.
All right, so let's see. Hey, Corey and Lori, if you could remake any game that isn't yours, which one would you pick?
Well, we started to do that, actually. Rogue.
Yeah, but
I don't know if that's any game we picked, but that was the game we did pick.
I said I was gonna, and we didn't do it. We wound up not doing it.
We thought we were going to. We thought Rogue Redemption was going to be a rogue game with story, quote unquote.
Yeah, but it soon evolved its own way, which is pretty much the way things go with me. If it, I start out with things, but they just have their own minds. But I would say Dungeon Master. That would
Could we make it any better?
We could, because graphics, just bring up the graphics and make it 3D, make it real.
I'm not sure we're the right people for that.
No, but I mean, if Ken and Roberta can do it.
It's a game we'd love to see a new version of.
I think it would work really well. And the whole thing, even more so. Today's topic is just mostly random right now. And it's supposed to sig into Quest for Glory 2, Trial by Fire. But right
now... We've already been at this almost an hour.
Yes, I know. Thank God it wasn't Wordle that started Ken and Roberta. Yes, we can have 3D Wordle. Yeah, you have to find the letters and bring them to your squares.
Well, the funny thing is that I've been playing Wordle for about 10 years.
Okay.
Because there was a site called wordsmith.org. And they had various word games on there, one of which was called Word Mastermind.
Yay, thank you so much.
And it was Wordle.
It was Wordle?
It was Wordle.
Well, Word Mastermind, I had the little physical game.
Of Mastermind.
Of Mastermind.
Well, not
Word Mastermind. Word
really?
Mastermind,
okay,
yes.
So, and I'm pretty sure that they stopped doing that because...
Boost the Scream. It says we're almost at a boost train, 94%.
Oh, 95%. Now, there is a new thing with boost trains. So this is different. This is the old, you've heard of the hype train. So they have a new thing called a boost train. And this is a super hype train. We have 4 minutes left, but I can eat up 30 seconds of that.
Yes, just
if we get in a hype train, there's now a chance for smaller streams like ours that they will turn into a boost train. That means they will promote our channel to other Twitch channels all over and try to get us visitors from other Twitch channels. So we really want to get this boost train. So if you got any, if you haven't subscribed yet, you should be subscribing to the stream. If you got any bits that you want to donate, cheer us on with some bits. I don't know how that works, but something like that. And we have 3.5 minutes left to get this hype train from 94% to 100%. And if we do, we will get a boost for this channel.
Boy.
And that'll get more people in the channel, and that'll give us more incentive to do it every... maybe we'll go weekly instead of bi-weekly. Maybe we'll go to 3 hours instead of 2.
Would a rogue remake be considered the ultimate rogue-like? Depends on how rogue-like you make it. Yes.
Which one? A rogue remake be the ultimate roguelike, yes.
And Colossal Cave 3D certainly needs an owl with a monocle.
Oh, we did it!
Yes,
We're boosted!
Thank you! Just what we always needed. Thank
Boost
you,
train.
Marion Ba.
Burning in my heart. We've been boosted.
Yay.
Thank you, everyone.
Level 1 complete. 800 recommendations so far.
Wow, that's a lot of recommendations.
It is.
Okay, now the level 2 boost train is now in process for the next 4.5 minutes. We're 28% of the way there already.
Yes, and we can use this because we'll probably go raid Roberta's. Is it Roberta's next?
Yeah, we'll raid Roberta's,
We
and
are
then we'll
going
have
to-
all sorts of people to go to the Classic Gamers Guild.
Yeah, so that'll be
Pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah, we can have a train. You guys can watch people yak all day long.
So, of course, that person, and this is, there's an old joke about trying to train a dog, and how how you tell the dog is, don't touch that. That food is not for you. And the dog hears blah 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 food, and jumps on it. Okay, so if you mention the word Wordle, expect people who play Wordle, which we do, to talk about Wordle. So anyway, yeah, these word games are very old, but Wordle did a wonderful user interface for it, gave it away for free, and as a result made $1 million or more from Microsoft buying them.
Yeah. So there, no, a game with no background, no extensive development.
That's the easiest game in the world to cheat at.
And the easiest
because
I'll
play Wordle on my cell phone. It doesn't know who I am. I could get the answer, and then I could guess every Wordle in one on the computer if I wanted to, because I'd know the answer.
Yeah.
There is a scoring system, but it's meaningless.
And so,
but
why is this such a great game?
And the answer is it's personal challenge.
Yeah.
And
it's amusing. And so, therefore, here we have another example of how, with nothing, you can become a great game designer.
Today's Wordle, by the way, is very difficult. It took me only 4 guesses, but I got lucky.
First time chat from viewer. Thank you, Robot Space. Thank you for the get hype. Yes.
100 food?
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
Well, if you buy the food from what's the dog's name? Calvin? No,
Calb.
From Calb, then you can easily afford 100 of it to donate.
Yes.
And that's about what bits are worth.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're at 33% on the boost train. But only 2.5 minutes left. I think we used up our boosters.
I think we did. And we're still yakking. Did you actually set up Trial by Fire so we can play it?
No. But I just have to run it.
Okay, fine.
I've got a channel for it.
Yeah,
maybe.
Okay.
A Warcraft channel. Maybe I turned it into a Warcraft channel.
Did you really? You were live streaming Warcraft last time?
PG4 game.
Okay.
Scum VM.
Well, you're looking for a game to capture.
It'll look for a game. Yeah, I can. If I'm running a game, it'll capture it.
Fine. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Domo arigato. In a robotic voice.
Yes. Okay, so any rate.
I miss Roberta. She's so funny. But booze. So anyway, Wordle. Wordle is just an elegant interface.
Oh, what?
I talked to my son about it, and he said, well, your problem is you've been playing on a computer, so it just looks like a game to you. Try it on your cell phone. And he says the interface on the iPhone is brilliant.
Yeah.
It is just really simple, easy to use, really works on phones. So, for a game that was just done by one person for, as a hobby to share with his friend, basically it is brilliantly engineered.
Yes. How to capture your screens? You use a program called Streamlabs.
Yes, I use Streamlabs desktop. There are other ones. This is in a category called OBS programs. I don't remember what OBS stands for. We can look it up. Streamlabs is free. There are other free OBS programs. Streamlabs, actually, when I first used it on YouTube, automatically went to a page that let people donate to the stream.
Yeah.
And we actually made a fair amount of money for our first few streams. But we had technical problems with it, so we switched over to Twitch. Oh, Borgenstein just put in 1,000 bits.
And we're at 94%.
And we have 27 seconds, and we're at 94%.
Over-designed, bloated software. That's what OBS means.
Okay, we need about 100 bits really fast.
If you could just somebody do something, or else it's all gone. 17 seconds, 15. It's going to be all lost.
OBS is the name of a program, and Streamlabs blatantly claimed it for their own. But Streamlabs works really well. It's elegant. Mm-hmm. So, 5 seconds. Oh, we're going to miss our boost train.
Oh, well. Open
broadcaster. Boost train. Success? What? Does that mean it succeeded?
I don't know.
Oh, somebody cheered us 100. No, Such strong support. Level 1 completed.
Yeah. We
almost made level 2.
Oh, well.
4 subs, 1,300 bits. Thank you, everybody.
Yay! We are rich. We are fabulously wealthy.
We actually do get 3, 2, 1, lift off!
Cool.
I don't know. We did it. We're boosting the stream with 800 recommendations. Ooh. Oh, we got 80 recommendations before, I think. Maybe it was 800.
800, yes. That's good enough. I mean,
Yay.
we'll like it. Yay.
It's a start. It's a good start.
Yes. Especially if we can, get most of you
Get to 800,000.
You could go on to...
I'm trying to talk. I'd actually like to find a publisher for our games. I don't think we should be self-publishing them. But it's hard. Publishers all have their own ideas.
Streamlabs got a lot of bad press recently for stealing the OBS.
I hadn't heard about that.
No, we're...
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like, we used Kickstarter to get funding for Hero Your Road to Redemption, and Kickstarter got really bad press for union busting and mistreating employees and such.
Yep.
Oh, Ribbons of Distinction got an emote.
Cool. I can't read
We
it.
have some emotes. If you type in colon...
All right. Quest for
and
Glory
then
2 is my
Transo...
favorite game that Sierra made. It was my very first experience in RPGs, yes.
Without the space in there, type in colon Transo. It should give you an autocomplete of emotes that are available in this channel.
What's a TTR RPG?
Here is a Transo U. A tabletop role-playing game.
Tabletop. Oh, you mean real role-playing. Yeah, okay. There is a Twitch setup for the CCA remake, huh?
Yes, the parser on Quest for Glory 2 was the most advanced that Sierra ever had because the following year they eliminated the parser and went to point and click.
Yep.
And the reason was not because they thought the games would be better in point and click. It was because Ken had a vision of bringing all of our games to consoles, like the PlayStation and Super Nintendo, and none of those had keyboards. So he wanted a non-keyboard interface.
Yes, and because we couldn't fit
Oh,
it
yes,
in
there's a
discs
Transo
anymore.
quirk.
Yes, there is. My new hype train emote is a pet fish.
There's a fish being petted.
Huh. Okay.
Must be a pet fish.
I guess so. Let's
Anyway.
Start Quest for Glory 2. So
Lori wants me to play a game.
No, I want to yak over it so we just have something besides ourselves to look at.
All right, let's
I
see.
remember Queen's Quest 5 on the NES. Ooh, boy, was that a thing.
All right. I think I go to Steam, which is probably here somewhere, but I got too much crap on my screen.
You do.
Oh, no, I used the C word. Let's go to a... Could you for a game? No. Something game.
Oh, well.
That's the wrong one.
NES is a
Let's
technological
go to,
marvel.
Oh, the one that says Warcraft
Probably, yes.
is not really Warcraft. Oh,
Okay.
updating Steam. This is very exciting.
Yes, of course. That's why you're supposed to set this up ahead of time, because there's always updates.
Yeah, I had got uploads to Streamlabs also. That's what happens when you go 6 weeks between streams.
Yes, there are always
world
updates.
changes.
Okay, yeah, there's the U and the U and the
Unicorn.
work.
Unicorn and a quirk and a U.
Well, it's a U. It's a hero U.
It's the letter U.
Unicorn, yeah. How do you control the mouse? Oh no, Steam.
Use the joypad. I don't know. We're supposed to make games that worked on that, and okay. Oh wait, here we go. Connecting. It wants a password. I don't know my passwords.
Still matter of debate which is worse between the KQ5 SNES and KQ1 on the Master System. I see. Well, it's a matter of what you are,
Keep talking.
Well, I don't know, because I didn't play either.
What didn't you play?
The KQ games on the...
No, but we did have a Sega
machines.
Genesis that we played Ghostbusters on.
Yes, we did.
Looking for Steam.
And that was a very good Twitch game, for what it was worth.
Let me know if anybody can collect all my passwords from the way I'm doing this.
I can't see it. But yeah, if you can, let us know. Remember my password?
I've been told several of my passwords have been stolen, but I never change them anyway.
Yeah, well, you could do something about that instead of, giving in.
On new sites, I use new passwords.
Yes, we are.
All right. If I
Constantly
go to
getting,
games, this tiny little thing that...
We have your name. We have your password. We're going to spread it to the internet if you don't, pay us 3,000 bitcoins or whatever it is.
Is this the one I'm using it from, or was I using GOG?
Corey's password is... Oh, now I have to change the password on my mismatched luggage. Okay.
I think I did it on GOG.
You did it on GOG. Oh, after all that.
After all that.
Okay, fine.
Does anybody remember?
No, nobody remembers.
GOG Galaxy.
Now we'll do it. I watched the
It'll
newest
probably
Ghostbuster movie.
Galaxy.
I felt pandered to. That's how. Okay.
Excellent.
I wouldn't. It's not pandered unless it actually had Egon on it.
I think we're two Ghostbusters behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the game was really good, except you couldn't save it in the middle.
Yes, that was the problem with it. And the old games for those machines, you couldn't save. And so therefore, we had a marathon game that ran. We had a convention at our house.
Maybe it wasn't on the above. Maybe I downloaded from their website.
And all these people, we had a house full of people for that, and we had the Game Boy or whichever one. What was it?
No, it was Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis was running, and we had somebody, I don't even know her name. I mean, she just was staying at our house, and I didn't actually know her. I think it was Amy. And she sat there and played that game for 48 hours and beat the game. And that was Ghosts and Goblins or whatever it was.
Ghouls and Goblins?
It
might be Ghosts and Goblins.
Ghosts and Goblins, and that is, yes. Yep.
Let's try this launcher here. Play game.
Was that the one we were playing? I don't think it is.
I think so.
Well, it's a game, but I don't know that this was the version we were playing.
And besides,
Curls
I'll
in the
have
fetal position.
Yikes. Hit my Windows.
Commodore 64, yes.
Okay, so...
Yes, download the remake directly from AGDI's website.
I believe I did.
He thinks he did.
I just lost it, though. Where'd it go?
You did lose it. You lost entirely. There it is. And it still hasn't found it, though.
Looking for a game to capture. That doesn't work very well.
No, it's not Warcraft, clearly.
Okay, I may have to do a full screen instead. Let's go to HQ 30 game.
You lost the game, so, you know, if you...
I'll get it back.
Okay. You recognize that music? Yes. Some things are embedded on the brain.
Let's try this one with the screen capture.
Okay. See
That's the one you can see my passwords on. There we go.
There we are.
Okay, it's us in a game.
Now see if you can...
Import?
No, continue quest.
Oh, continue quest.
We were playing it.
Deserting,
all right, that's it.
Deserting the city.
Deserting the city. Sierra was an innovator with the music on the Roland MT-32. Yeah, we all got to listen to that MT-32. It was the most important one on the thing.
Let's ask about the desert. Desert is a very dangerous place for any man.
Trials for streamers. Ah, I see.
In the middle of the day, the sun will burn one. Which one? At night, many foul monsters, such as chickens, prowl in search of easy prey. The dunes are alike, and it is easy to lose one's way. Only if one is properly prepared can one endure. Or when one travels in a caravan, such as a Dodge Grand Caravan that we used to own. So we can ask about caravans. Caravan has many travelers journeying together. Is much less dangerous that way. Unless you're going on very narrow one-lane roads in Maui.
Yes, yes.
There will be a caravan to Rasir in 16 days.
So you actually had only 16 days to do all this stuff?
Yep.
Wow.
I've only made it through one day of this, so in fact, I don't think I made it one day.
What would be a good desert dessert?
We need a
I know
water
one. I make one.
And a compass.
What's it called? It's a combination of dates and pistachio nuts and almonds.
What is?
He asked what would be a good desert dessert.
Ah.
And you just grind up all the almonds and the pistachio nuts, and you roll them into the date meat, and then roll it in powdered sugar.
I tried to talk to it. It says it's not a Talkosaurus.
Ah. And it's a really good little snack dessert that stays forever, and it's definitely like it's definitely a traditional Middle Eastern dessert. And I can't remember the name of it. Sand-flavored ice cream, though, probably not on the list of really tasty things. Watermelon would be a good thing to have for a desert dessert.
All right, let's go for the prices. Map is 100 centimes, and the compass is 100 centimes. Wonder how I buy them. Maybe a hand. Nope, that doesn't work. Let's see if it's not talk. Oh, I know how I'd have to do. I have to go into my inventory.
Yeah, you have to put your
and
purse
find a money
on
bag.
I'm literally
I have a
recording
water skin
bits
here.
of Sierra music from my newly acquired Yamaha synth right now.
It's mostly full.
It's interesting how different the tracks sound from their ad-lib counterparts. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. Is it me or the resolution on the game is blurry? It looks blurry to me.
Looks to me as though I already own... so look at that. Oh, look, there's a compass.
It's not Kajer Ladu. It's on my recipes. I'll go find it.
Well, you have to remember, of course, that this game was... well, this is the VGA version, but it was still lower medium resolution. It's either 640 by 200 or 320 by 200. So, and then I have this blown up to something like, I don't know, 1620 by 1280 or... so, therefore, it's going to be kind of blurry. Kind of pixelated. There's a map. It's a magic map. I wonder how I use that. Maybe if I click it on myself. There we go. Let's go to the middle plaza. And I'm looking for someone who sells water skins. So first I can use my water skin on the fountain. Okay. Monk. I now have a full water skin instead of a mostly full water skin. But we might want some spares. Lamp merchant. Basket merchant. Yep. In the wrong place. Looking for a leather merchant. Pottery merchant. There's no leather goods here. Let's see, but we have some questions here. Oasis music is great in the desert. Is there a group called Oasis? I think there was an Oasis song by like Enya, maybe. All right. Sumatra has been drinking wine because of their birthday, but is not drunk enough to say that the screen is blurry. Just the game.
Okay, so the name of that recipe...
So not going Sumatra will not whine about it.
The name of that recipe is Hais, H-A-I-S. It is from al-Baghdira or Baghdida or something like that. That was a traditional 15th century, I'm going to say, cookbook from Islamic states. And the ingredients were, as I said, but you have to also add into those ingredients breadcrumbs to make them stay together with the dates, and some sesame oil, which will give you your flavor of sesame that just dates it and really makes it. So that's all those ingredients just ground up, and then you roll it into a little ball, and then you roll it in powdered sugar, and traditionally you keep it stored in a box with bay leaves all around it. So that's there you go. Traditional Islamic would have been traditional for this area. Would have been very appropriate if I'd known about it at the time.
Let's see if we can buy some spare water skins. It's 99. I'll offer 85. I'm buying them in quantity. 98. Oh, 92. There you go. Yay, I bought it.
Right.
So we now have some water skins. Over here is the weapon shop. According to the sign, the door below it must lead to the weapon shop. There's a bellows symbol. The emblem of the bellows above the door looks like the real thing. It's the real thing.
Ah, yes, Hais. That is. And you probably get it from the same source
Heis.
that I got it. I don't know. Yeah. Oh,
hey,
look.
there's a lion-like thing, except
Yes.
it's kind of a sphinx.
It does.
Looks like a cross between a centaur and a lion. Muscular upper torso and leonine features add a certain ferocity to his appearance, but his eyes look kindly and calmly back at you as food. You notice a bandage is wrapped around his hind leg. Well, everyone knows you're supposed to remove the thorn from it, so therefore I will touch the bandage. Oh, I can't trouble myself with that.
All right. What logic do you use for haggling on Quest for Glory 2?
Look at...
well, that was a question for you. Did you get
logic?
to lose honor if you haggle too much with the
I don't think you lose honor, but basically the merchants will become angry at you if you try to lowball them too much or repeat a very low offer, and they will raise their price as a result. But as long as you're reasonable, they will try to compromise.
Character sheet. Where's the character sheet?
That's probably on this little star.
Oh, the little star. Okay, fine. Silly interface.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't like that interface. We didn't.
And then what happened to it?
It went away.
You click on your character now.
I know.
There we go.
We are a magic user for the
Okay, we are Magicus the Magic User. We have an honor rating of 48. That can get as high as 200 in this game. But we have a communication skill of 81. So we have pretty good communication skill. And every time we haggle...
100 is the limit for most of these things then?
No, 200.
200 for this game?
Yeah.
We have really lousy luck.
Well, we're just starting out.
Okay, fine.
We're on day 1. Come on. And the idea basically is...
48 honor? You start at 50. You last honor?
Oh, well, then. I guess we did lose some honor.
Yeah. Well,
so
we
maybe
have
you're
no
right.
idea. We only designed this game, yes. Honorless thieves tend to cause the vendors to raise prices every time. Okay. Didn't you harass the griffin?
Not intentionally.
We don't know.
I don't even.
We don't even remember.
I remember vaguely going out into the desert and running away from everything, but so every time you talk to someone.
Oh, we pissed off Aziza too, and that might be this.
Oh,
game.
we did. That might have been.
We probably pissed her off.
Yeah, we got Aziza angry. We weren't properly courteous.
No. Oh well.
Because we couldn't figure out the interface.
Doesn't mean bargaining too lower honor. It was supposed to in one of our games.
I don't know that it actually lowers honor, but it does definitely make them unwilling to bargain. So as your communication skill goes up by haggling with people and by talking to them, you'll get better deals.
Ah, yes. Aziza's definitely honor drain. Yeah. If you want to lose your honor, if you want to be a scum, go insult Aziza. You're lucky you don't get turned into a fraud.
Let's go talk to this lion tar. What is your name? My name is Rasha Rakish Satarna. I am called Rakish. I am of the lion tar people. The Sultan summoned me to Shapir to aid against the dark magic, which even now hovers near this city. I fear, though, that I am not the hero I was once. Perhaps you will become the hero they need.
Oh, I just got back from JDC, which was a series of stories I can tell you.
Okay, probably not as harrowing as our driving adventure or my snorkeling adventure.
No, but definitely should be fun
or our restaurant pricing adventures.
Our pricing adventures, yes.
Well, we offered to pay for one of the meals, and it was over $300. So.
Yeah, and that was for a light meal.
That was happy hour. That was a light meal.
Yes. You had the parser mode on, for example, you could try the classic means to activate debug mode with consequences. So Rakish used to be a hero like you before he
took a demon to the knee.
Yes, indeed.
Let's ask about heroes. A true hero knows what must be done when there is need, and he must be able to do it. In other words, they're arrogant. What about the lion tar people? We're a proud race of strong warriors, although we do tend to be a bit vain and perhaps a bit boastful. Well, you don't sound much like that. Daily News, Desert, Shapir. What's the news? Shapir has many tales. Tell me a rumor. The stories told about Rossir lead one to suspect it is not a very pleasant place to be.
Skyrim confirmed plagiarizing Quest for Glory 2. Okay.
What did we... there were a number of cases where we read about a movie or a game plagiarizing another one, and the only problem was that uh, it was a game that had been made 15 years or 20 years before the thing it was supposed to have been plagiarizing. So we never quite figured out what kind of time travel we had for that. Here's the guild hall. Let's head on in. Ooh. This is your line.
Ah, a hero of the Katas. You have some reputation already to hear merchants talk. If you are as good as they say you are, then you must be plenty good.
Well, why don't you try me?
I be Uhura. I be honored you visit here.
Let's pronounce it Uhura. You pronounce it Uhura?
Obviously I do.
Her name in Swahili means freedom. That was a line from a song we heard Joey Shoji sing.
Khajiits are obvious. Well, yeah, I'll give them that. But, you know, the Kata people, humanoids, have been around for all this time. Yes, I was not exactly inventing them.
Tusks that came from a rather large...
Avatar called Pocahontas in space. Well, not Disney's Pocahontas in space, I'll tell you.
Rather large specimen of Heffalumpas purobinus.
Yes.
This is a cross between a heffalump, which is an elephant, Winnie the Pooh, and Christopher Robin.
Yes. Since I'm in the market for one, mine is falling apart. How comfortable are those chairs you are both using?
They're not bad. These are we picked these up at PAX in Seattle. Cougar, they were on sale, and they're pretty good.
They really are. They have long.
I did actually use mine day to day for a while, and then I switched to I have an office chair, which is maybe a little bit too comfortable for gaming.
Avatar was Fern Gully in space. Okay, mine is the Tim Curry.
So these are these are low to mid end gaming chairs. You can also get gaming chairs now at like Costco.
But they're very comfortable. Actually,
they're very nice. We do have seat cushions on it, which are moderately comfortable. So I don't know if I should advertise them. They're Comfy Life, but we like them. But I don't know if they're amazing.
Too comfortable for gaming? What does that mean?
Too comfortable is that I tend to lean back, and then I'm so far away from my keyboard I can't reach it. So I want to be a little bit more upright. I don't know if this lock. These don't even lock, do they?
Lock, no.
These don't lock. You want your seat not to be sore, but you want to be in a good posture position, and these are not bad for that. The office chairs, they're Steel Series or something. I don't know what they are, but they're medium high end office
Moderately
chairs.
comfortable to amazing is what you're looking for. You really need to test them.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone is different. We tested.
We walked around PAX, and they had like a half a dozen or more companies offering gaming chairs, and we tried a bunch
tested
of them.
every one of them because honestly, chairs are
very personal.
The worst thing to have to go shopping for because they're all uncomfortable. You will find 90% of the chairs or furniture you try.
Yeah, Lori got one of those mesh web office chairs, and it was awful.
Yeah. Was playing this game, your version, with my son recently. He wanted to watch me defeat an air elemental. He loved its bulging eyes as it's being sucked into the bellows.
Oh.
Well, good. We appeal to a wide range of audiences. Clearly.
It's a family game.
It is.
I mean, we really did make these as family games. There's some little flirtatious remarks and so on, but there's no, like, raw sex or raw blood or, hate in these. Tell me about Uhura.
It does. See, there we go.
My name be Uhura. It means
freedom in my people's voice. People. My people be very far from here. I be Simbani warrior, but Simbani woman cannot be wife and warrior. So I be coming to Shapir to find father so I can bear a child. Now I have Simba and still remain Simbani warrior.
Once a warrior, always a warrior. So they did have women as warriors, but you had to make a choice, woman or mother.
Yep.
Simba's father?
Simba's father be in the Sultan's guard. Strong fighter. He'd be almost better than me.
Almost.
Almost, of course.
Really, really good.
Yes, my land and people are many months' travel from here.
Enough already.
Leisure suit, Larry, they are not. Yes. Yes, no, they aren't.
Anyway, we're
Is that, oh,
we're always supposed to sign.
Moose has a fez.
We're always supposed to sign the guest book, aren't we?
Oh, yeah,
oh yes, there's a fez on the moose head.
Ah.
The moose head, we were told when we first started doing games at Sierra that there was a tradition of putting a moose head in every game, and I think that was about 2 games at that point. But
really?
we continued it.
Did.
What happened? Did you sign their name on the
I
flourish?
did. Yeah, that's what that was.
Why don't you put an eye on that book? Oh, it's the head of the rare southern moose. You can tell by the hat. And the last entry is Magicus, Hero of Spielberg. So this is the one thing we tried to do to make our games feel alive, is make everything conditional. So if you had read that book before signing it, which we didn't think to do, it would have basically said, this is the adventurer's log, and people would sign in as they come into adventure. But now the last entry is your name, because...
Yeah. I'm ready for the VR sensory tube, which I imagine is like playing games while snorkeling, like the freedom of being in water. They when the VR was first being looked at, and they did actually have areas which had the people confined to an area, and it had a treadmill on the bottom, so you could walk while you were walking, and you could you were blocked on 3 sides by cushions, so that you couldn't actually walk off this thing when you were using the VR.
I keep trying to stop it, it won't let me.
Oh well. This is a really nasty. There shouldn't be so much garbage in there.
Yeah, this is missing the fetid trash piles. The developers in this did a fabulous job, but they did miss a point to this series, is the contrast.
Yeah.
There's something writing in the wall. The contrast between Shapir and Rassir is Shapir is having trouble because of drought and so on, but is basically a good place to live. Rassir is just plain nasty. Rassir, of course, is an anagram of Sierra, and we were having some problems with management at the time.
Oh, David TK says, difference between the original and the remake. A fighter can get credit for killing the Jackalman, killing one and then running away in the original, but in the remake, they make you do the whole pack. Well, yeah, no, that's a subtlety that I think ours is correct.
So, I think...
okay. GDC story time. Story 1. I met... Naming Collision met John Romero. And in his talk, he mentioned how his id software almost became a part of Sierra. I'm also told that different people recall this tale differently. Yeah.
I don't know if we met Romero. We met the people that did the 7th Guest. Graham Devine, and I think this was Graham that we met. He was a really nice guy.
Yes. Yes, they deliberately met a low-wealth district in Shapir, which I get, but doesn't always fit. I don't mind having a low rent, but and we are over here. This is not a bad place to put the low-rent district if we were over here.
You're at the opposite end from the palace.
Yes,
that makes sense.
Makes sense. So
wealthy
I don't
people
mind
want to live near the palace.
But there still needs to be more of a contrast is the thing, yeah. Ken Williams confirmed it overall. I see. So, yes, Sierra did try to buy id.
So the story of Sierra and role-playing games is that Sierra had, in one of its acquisition phases, had actually worked with Lord British. You'll never find her out of there alive.
I know.
And had published Ultima 2, and had been Sierra's main entry in the role-playing game category, and that they'd had a disagreement. There's some important graffiti there. Oh, this looks interesting. Or maybe it's just trash pile.
Which is trash?
Looks like a head on top of that.
Yeah.
Discarded barrel. That's what that is.
Yeah.
And that basically Lord British felt that he wasn't getting paid enough for his effort, and that they weren't doing enough with his game. So he went and started Origin Systems and to publish the rest of the Ultimas. And that Sierra was looking for a new role-playing game to replace Ultima. And they had previously published a game called The Wrath of Denethanor, and it didn't do particularly well. But they said, okay, we can do better. And we first heard about this because Carly Hawksdaughter, who we knew from science fiction conventions and gaming and folk music, was the animator of Rosella in King's Quest IV, and she had been on this meeting where Ken was looking for role-playing designers. So she told us about it and said, hey, you should talk to Ken Williams. Hi, Candide.
Yay!
Yes, Candide moved to Philadelphia. Last I heard she was in Los Angeles area, Orange County. Candide is high from Philadelphia between conference events. So she's not a Philadelphia resident. She's just visiting it for a conference. Now, I lived in Jenkintown, or Abington. I guess technically Jenkintown, which is a suburb of Philadelphia. And grew up there from about age 5 or 6 up till age 15. So.
How do you look at the map?
I thought that there was a hotkey for it, but I couldn't find it. So you click the map on yourself.
You click it on yourself? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
There should be a hotkey for that.
There should be. All right.
Yeah, why don't we go into these little dead ends here and see what's in them.
Because there won't be anything in them.
Well, I'll bet there might be. Just because we didn't put anything in them.
Okay, fine. So you followed Ultima.
Anyway,
so you should mention that.
Yeah, indirectly. We followed Ultima and then Wrath.
Okay.
And when I got in there, they decided not to hire us to make Quest for Glory, but instead, or Hero's Quest, but instead to translate SCI to the Atari ST. So that was my first job. But I did a reasonable enough job of that they said, well, okay, let's talk to you about making a game. Or let's talk to Lori about making a game.
No, they were talking to you about getting programming, be a programmer, and that's all they talked about. All right, story 2. I met Ken and Roberta Williams. In addition to discussing John and Romero, I was amused that Ken recalls you folks in exactly the same brief words that you recall them. Well, we email about once a year, yes.
Which is actually newish. I mean, we didn't talk to them at all from post-Sierra until we started doing Kickstarter and Quest for Glory. But, I was keeping up with what they were doing, what Ken was doing and stuff, and his travel log of his yachting adventures, boating adventures around the world. Try Control R. Maybe that's it. Okay, Control R. There we go.
Yay! Because it's mnemonic. R
escape.
for...
Rook at the map.
Rook at the map. Yeah, there we go.
Read the map. Read map.
Read the map. Thank
R for
you.
read map. Okay, so we want to turn right and then left and left again.
Okay. Turn right. We want to go that way.
And then left and left again. Get back to your mouse. Yep, there you're walking. I don't actually like that cursor interface. Left again. But it's an interface. You can learn it.
Scooby-Doo rocks at the map.
Okay, Control Raw. Yep, there we are. We're almost there. Yep. I thought I hit escape. Click. Ooh, she looks like an especially bad area.
Yeah. We found the bad part of town.
Oh, there's some text. Read it. Go to I. Nope, you got to be right on it.
Right on it. It's not a thing. It is just a thing.
You're not. You haven't hit it yet.
I have hit it.
There. Oh, okay.
Corey. Just a thing.
There are some of these you can read. That isn't one of them.
Sometimes we'd go to Aziz's just to hang out. Yes.
Oh, look.
Oh, you found something.
At end is Salt Saurus Repair Shop.
Yes.
There's Parker outside in the alley, Mac, and we'll get to it as soon as we can. If we had a Saurus. Okay, so the story in this is as we were getting close to shipping this game, Brian Hughes, working weekends, got together with Jerry Moore and had Jerry give him some artwork. And Brian took bits and pieces of artwork that was left over from animation of the game and turned it into the Saurus Repair Shop, which was supposed to be like a garage, a repair garage.
I think they get the idea looking at this place.
And at the last minute, we tried to fit that onto the discs, and it didn't fit anywhere.
This place looks like a cross between an abattoir and a garage. Mechanical body parts and tools are scattered untidily across the floor. A gruff mechanic goes about his work, paying little regard to your presence.
An abattoir being a little used archaic word, except in fantasy gaming, that's basically...
No, honestly, there was the abattoir in along on the way to between
Maui?
Fresno.
No.
No, between Fresno and Pacheco Pass, in that Los Banos had an abattoir.
It did.
It did. It honestly called it an abattoir.
And it was basically a dump.
No!
What was it?
It's a slaughterhouse. That's
Slaughterhouse.
what an abattoir is.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's go see.
He
can't.
doubts me. Yes,
Do you have a dictionary? You can look it up on my phone.
Oh, good. You could ask your phone.
Hey Siri, what's the definition of abattoir?
Abattoir means a slaughterhouse.
There you go.
Yep.
Oh, Lori's so smart.
Often used in UK. The UK word I just learned for sure yesterday is rabbies. Rabbies. Ravvies. And
Rabbies.
that's we are the rabbies who work upon the railway, which is in Gordon Lightfoot's song.
He used a different word than that.
No, he said ravvies. I've never heard that word before. In one of the versions,
navvies.
no, or navvies, probably
it's
navvies, and I thought it was short for something.
Something having to do with the Navy.
But the word navvy became the meaning for a manual laborer, from Britain. That was their
What's the
slang.
origin of the word, though?
They think it might be off of navigator because navigators were the ones who actually had to.
Except they were treated with respect.
I know, but this is the term, navvies.
Anyway,
Navvies, yeah.
At the last minute...
My Siri gave me the definition of the word definition. Navvies. Yeah, it sounds like
Navvies?
kids speak for ravioli. Yeah, but navvy is a real word.
Nebby sounds like it comes from, Nebby Young says nabbies. Nebby sounds like it comes from, Indian. But anyway, so we actually, Brian came up with this. It had nothing to do with the game design or anything. And Lori and I looked at it and said, hey, this is fun. Let's get into the game. But at the very last minute, as we were putting together our discs, and we were way above our disc. Our disc budget for this game was 4 or 5 1/4-inch discs, and it actually took 10. And as I've given this lecture elsewhere on Discord, you should all join our Discord, by the way. We should have a link to our Discord.
Yes,
Just look up Trans Solar Games on Discord.
Well, we'll give them a link later.
Anyway, the problem is that people used to actually play the games from floppy disks. They didn't install from a floppy to a hard disk. They played it directly from the floppies.
Most people actually know that.
And therefore, when you only had 360K of data on a single-sided IBM floppy disk, and you had about 100K of animation just for the character and the different things like bending down and reaching out and stuff like that had to go on every single disc, there was hardly anything left for game content. So we tried to shoehorn the SARS repair shop onto one of the discs and discovered that it didn't quite fit. It almost fit. It didn't quite. We were missing some audio or something like that. So we reluctantly had to strip that out of the game because it would have added an 11th disc, and we were already, as I said, way over budget.
It's a sublime sign, finely designed with care and time.
Oh, that's kind of Lori's sort of writing.
Yeah. Floppies were so bad, they got damaged so easily. Yeah, well.
Anyway, so I didn't go in, and then years later when anonymous game developers decided to remake this game, they had heard the rumor about the SARS repair shop, and I put them in touch with Brian K. Hughes, who I just actually emailed with recently. Hadn't heard from him for a while. So that would be another story. But Brian told them what he remembered of it, and they put a SARS repair shop into the remake. So, yay.
And it looks a lot like the originals because clearly
it's better, much better.
Somebody kept the art, yeah. I mean, it looks very Jerry Moore-ish, so I'll assume they...
These guys did an amazing job in this remake.
So, yes, this is the the interactive remake, yes.
From which...
They did a fine job, yes.
AGDI, for which they got paid nothing, and, we're not allowed to sell it.
And they got nothing but trouble for
and
it.
They spent years and years making this thing.
Yes, so you have to...
A lot of work, but they learned a lot from it, and they started making their own games. They did Elmo and the Lost Mine or something like that, and a couple other commercial games. They more recently became Himalaya Software and did
some of them became.
Mage's Initiation.
Yes. So
LMO and the Lost Dutchman's Mine.
Yes.
And Mage's Initiation is a more recent one. It's a pretty good hybrid role-playing adventure game.
A Quest for Glory. How interesting. Kind of reminds me of a Sierra Online game. Yes.
Is there a game like that from Sierra?
So,
well, this one isn't. This is
definitely...
This is not a Sierra game.
Well, it looks like it could have been. I mean,
It looks much nicer.
Mm-hmm. Well, for the time, yeah. I mean, they did a great job on this.
It's very close to what we did,
Mm-hmm.
but nicer.
Of course, I forgot which way it was going.
They put this in 256 VGA colors instead of 16 EGA colors. Now for a Darb.
Yes, Mage's Initiation is their Quest for Glory.
Darb and Tariq are the Arabic names for, I think, Avenue and Street. So we used Darb, I think, for east-west and Tariq for north-south or something like that. But they all curve around so much that it doesn't too much apply.
No, they kept changing names. So.
There's a dead end. What are you supposed to down there if you keep walking?
You think this one?
I don't know if there's anything down there.
I don't think so. But
it's probably just a dead end.
Well, we'll go to the dead end. Knaves like knaves. Ah! The game had issues with lawyers, so AGDI took over. Okay, yeah. It was almost a Tierra game.
Oh, yes, Tierra, yes. They tried to name a company called
That's it.
Tierra to do remakes of Sierra games, and Sierra's lawyer said, can't do that. So they were fans.
Did you two, Lori and Corey, do the writing for the QFG? Yeah.
Lori mostly.
Yeah, we did the writing and designing.
I did this little bit of it.
Yeah.
I helped with the design. I provided ideas that were mostly terrible, and then Lori turned into useful ones.
That's what I thought. We need to go this
way. I did the technical design and programming for the role-playing system that allows you to have things like the character sheet.
Speaking appropriately to Shamina Shima before heading out, we'll get you English translations under the names. Oh, that's sweet. Yes.
Yeah, because all those names were taken by Lori out of an Arabic dictionary.
So
yeah, I did all this stat system and the combat system and stuff like that.
Yeah. Darb and Tariq are the hosts of Shapir's favorite drive time radio show.
Driving in on your sources.
Yeah, huh.
If you...
I also loved Heroine's Quest. Yes, that team did a fine job on Heroine's Quest.
That was a completely different team.
But some of them probably worked on there.
I don't know if there was any. That was
there
Crystal,
any followed?
Something Crystal.
Yeah. Okay.
If anyone remembers that.
Terrible ideas are often needed to seed the good ones. Yes.
Yeah. So what I do is I'll say something just totally random and silly, and Larry will say, "Yeah, that's stupid, but what about?" And then she'll modify it slightly so it's almost reasonable, and we'll go back and forth a few times and eventually come up with something that works. I did that for the Bob Marley game. We had a very dramatic intro that we were extremely proud of for the game, and they thought that it was too serious. And they didn't like it, and we tried like 3 ideas on them, and it was like, yeah, no, those aren't good enough. And then one morning I woke up at 4 a.m. and said, I know, it's all about smoking ganja, and we'll have a concert scene, and somebody says, wish I had a light, and then you get and somebody hands them a cigarette lighter, and they get the inspiration, and all of a sudden the room was just in darkness because the power has gone out as in light, and that would tie to the whole inspiration system we were going to use for the game instead of an inventory system.
Yeah, we were going to have inspirations.
So we had some really cool ideas for that game, but anyway... so I said, boys, this is the stupidest idea ever. So I wrote it up and sent it to them, and they loved it. Mm-hmm. And that became the intro for Bolt Riley, a reggae adventure. But yeah, basically they're on stage, and and they need inspiration.
Roberta is here. Welcome. Technical difficulty. Well, I hope you figured it out before yours.
Technical difficulties cause problems.
Are you all fond of Dragonfire? I grew up with Quest for Glory 4 and didn't get to play 5 until a couple of years ago. I was blown away at how excellently the combat was done, considering the rough 3D of the games around it.
Games around it, yeah.
I really liked the combat for Quest for Glory 5. All of the
you got yourself off camera there.
All of the monsters were artificial intelligence, and each one had their own mini module of how they behave, so therefore no combat was alike.
So there was really cool stuff in there.
Yeah.
So Quest for Glory 5 actually was a tour de force. The problem is that
it's a tour de force if you like role-playing games, for one thing.
Yeah. So some adventure gamers thought it was too RP-like, and a lot of people just did not like the look of the 3D art style, and that was because we went through 3 engines in the course of the game. And we had seen a demo of a voxel engine from some Russian software developers, and Eric Langell, certified genius at Sierra, said, "Oh, I can make a voxel engine," and he did. And the problem was that when you got close up to the characters and they got close to the camera, all of a sudden the frame rate dropped to about half a frame per second, or 1 frame per second, and it was just it was too jerky. So Eric said, "Don't worry, I can make a polygon engine." And he did. That meant the artist had to take all this, like 5,000 polygon figures and change them into like 100 polygons so that we could get decent frame rate on a polygon engine. So it really hurt the quality of the art.
Hello, question crew. Yeah.
And so people were comparing it to the hand-drawn art in the previous games, and it did not measure up favorably to Quest for Glory 4.
And people that didn't like combat did not like it. So it had a lot of people that hate to spoil the show, Joe, but we think it's time to go. Bonsoir and au revoir. I guess we wore out our welcome. We got kicked out.
Yep. Anyway, so Can't Stop the Kitten says, "That's great to hear. I adored the combat to adventuring blend," which of course is what all of Quest for Glory is about, and the carousel-like nature of the panoramic screens. It's funny, because now 35 years later, I have to look back and say, well, we're not really into, like Call of Duty or any of the, realistic combat games. And role-playing games were always all about fighting monsters and stuff, and we went with that trope. But really what we want to be into is storytelling.
None of which were the engine used by Mask or Gabriel Knight 3, because why bother collaborating? Yes, and the fact we were in 3 different locations physically.
Yeah, one of them was in Bellevue, Washington, near Seattle. One of them was in Central Oregon, near Eugene, Oregon, I think.
Yeah, and we were down in
Yosemite
Sierra area,
near Fresno. And the teams didn't talk to each other. Were not encouraged to talk to each other, and each team developed their own 3D engine. And discovered all the problems you have for not using an off-the-shelf engine.
Yeah, but yes, you love the carousel-like nature of the panorama screens. We really worked hard. The artists really did a fine job at creating 3D world.
These things were all done with paintings initially, and then converted.
No. We're talking about 5. I
thought
5 was
was
done
it all
3D modeled. My God, and elaborate pencil sketches of what they were supposed to be. At Science Island was just like a creative nightmare of how they designed it and that. So, yeah, it was.
So I had memories of directing Heroes Quest and Quest for Glory 2.
Roberta, you are wrong. You are the Roberta. I like 5. I've been yearning for a Greek set Quest for Glory since I went to Greek with my family. How fun! I always wanted to go to Greece.
I always wanted to visit the Greek Isles, and
there might be other Robertas. No Highlander needed here. Yes.
I visited Italy once when I was a teenager. I went to Rome, and I visited the catacombs. I visited the catacombs outside Rome, and that was part of the inspiration for the alleyways in Quest for Glory 2.
Yes, I do like the remake. I'd rather play the remake than I'd play the original game because I don't like trying to fight parsers, which is why we went with this style game. I may not agree with all the choices they made here, but they did a wonderful job, and I really applaud what they did with this. Greek's theme would also be good with their monsters and lore. Yes, that's why we set it in Quest for Glory 5. I had always wanted to complete the series there in Greece, in the Greek area. In this case, a Greek-inspired area.
Right, it's still young.
It
We
is.
should get back to the end.
We should. Oh, that's why we got kicked out. Yes, I do prefer the remake, but that's because this style of game appeals more to me. Oh, I like that, though. That was the best move. That decision to make
Magic
teleport.
map? Oh.
Yes, with the magic map. So you didn't
Didn't
have
we
to
do that? I thought we did
No,
that.
I don't think
I think we did.
Did we?
I think
All right,
so.
we'll ask those people. Did they actually have...
Did we have teleport using
you-
the magic map in the original version
Version.
of Quest for Glory 2 Trial by Fire? I think we did.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, good to know. That is a good convenience. The first sights of our beautiful city of Shapir. We've done all that stuff and we're still on day 1. Oh, 5 is the only
And
one
look
you
at that
haven't
beautiful,
played.
look at that
Yes.
beautiful face portrait.
5 is set to... We have all sorts of tropes from Greece. It is set in the Greek islands. There you travel between the little islands that are around it. We have...
We have a Minotaur maze and
Yeah.
something.
okay.
Or Minos.
We have Minos, but it's not a Minotaur maze. No.
Or should have been.
Well, oh well.
We have Silence Island.
Yeah.
With mad
yeah, I know.
scientists.
So we went...
It's got a little of everything.
It's a little of everything. It does have, a Hydra, and you have to remember your Greek mythology to know how to deal
It's
with
got
the
kind of
Hydra.
Roman style guards more than Greek, I think.
Yeah,
but
well,
I don't know.
it was made. Yes. By the way, if you want to raffle off a Capia code for GOG, Antonova gave me some to give out. Oh, great! We will give that out as our final raffle. There was a Minotaur maze in Quest for Glory 6. Well, we had Minotaurs in our games, yes. Minotaurs in Sierra were always a good recipe for a good time, no matter the game. Yeah.
And there's a Minotaur in a maze in Hero You Rogue to Redemption.
Yes, he is. If you consider that a maze, which
It's
the
a maze.
catacombs.
It's a catacombs.
If you don't know the catacombs,
Now, those
yes, it's a
catacombs are
maze.
really based
they
on
are
the,
big, huge catacombs. Yeah, they really
on
are
the
based
ones,
over the ones.
the
It's a
ones in
little
Italy.
larger than it should have been, but that was
That's
because
okay.
of we had technical
Yeah,
issues.
we didn't give you the feeling of claustrophobia,
Yeah.
but since I would have gotten sick playing it if we'd had.
Okay.
Antonova.
Okay, so we will...
There's a discussion, why do people hate Russians so much? And someone said, my wife's from Poland, and they were constantly being, hurt by the Russians and so on. But she doesn't hate Russians, and in fact, none of us hate Russians. We only hate Putin.
Yeah. I had to take notes to find my way through, so yeah, I want to be called a maze. Yeah.
So, would you say it was amazing?
It is hoped that the passive voice will not be used. Yes, indeed. Do you know the way to San Jose? Only with a map. Okay. Time limit on the catacombs was frustrating.
You can't really breathe in San Jose, except by the time we lived there, you couldn't.
Because Russia's currently doing a genocidal war on Ukraine right now.
Oh, yeah, that's a minor problem. So, yes.
I hate Russian.
Support
I much
Ukraine.
prefer going slow and steady. Yes. And we won't have Russian dressing. We'll call it mayonnaise with ketchup dressing.
Freedom dressing.
Yeah, freedom fries. That was...
Yeah, freedom fries because somebody didn't like the French for a while.
Yes, the French did not agree with us of attacking Iraq and Iran. So therefore, they were unpatriotic. And so therefore, we had to change French fries to freedom fries. So yes, we do make wonderful gestures
The Brits
like
never
that.
had that problem since they already called them chips.
Yeah, they don't call them chips.
Yes, they
don't,
do.
Do they? French?
That's
The English do.
the English call
English.
call them chips.
French.
Call them pomme frite.
Oh,
Pomme
okay,
frite.
that's better. Do you prefer Slowians? Yes.
Fried potatoes.
All right. I explored a little, then ran out of time for the night, so I started to draw a map little by little. Yeah, that is. The time limit was the major currency of Road to Redemption, is that you hadn't the time to do everything you wanted to, yeah. They're frites. Frites in French. Okay.
Oops, I was trying
What
to sit
do
down.
you call a lethargic pedestrian with an accent?
A lethargic pedestrian with an accent. A slow Vakian.
He's
Oh,
slowly walking.
He walks very
yes,
slowly.
the window viper.
All right, that's the punchline of an
Yeah.
old
Yes.
children's joke.
Yeah. The
I am
window
the-
viper is coming to your house.
I am the viper. The window viper. Tonight's meal is honey lamb with almonds and curried chicken. That sounds good.
How do you propose marriage to the dryad?
That sounds like 2 meals to me.
Would you marry me?
Oh.
Oh. That one I haven't heard before. That was
I came up with
Slovakian is good too.
one I wanted to share the other day, but then I
You
probably forgot it.
Yeah. Okay,
Gotta
so
write
at any rate,
these things down.
we have only a few minutes left in this. We could do the
Okay, let's
the
do a raffle.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do a raffle. The winner of
Are
this
we gonna
raffle.
save this game?
Oh, I guess we could. How do I save
You have to find the thing like that.
this thing and say save? And we will call this
End of day one.
end of day 1. Took us.
It does sound
We were
good.
hoping by our second session playing this to get into day 2, but I wasn't sure if we'd get to it at all because
Maeve
I thought
is the
everybody would want to know
central
about
part of the
Colossal Cave
church,
Adventure
yes. Hi, Kanita. Welcome.
VR.
You all have and Rocky and Bullwinkle to thank for my adoration of puns. Yes.
And we of course adored Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yes.
I could leave this on as a background.
And it was also Rocky and Bullwinkle. We can't use the mouse then. You can't use the
Oh, all
mouse.
right, fine.
That was why we can't do it.
Wit.
Rocky and Bullwinkle is definitely an influence on the concept that this game has, that we could have puns and nobody would get because there was a different layer, so that not everybody had to get everything in the game.
Well, that's fine.
And
I
that
found
was
it. There it is.
what Rocky and Bullwinkle had jokes that were so far over the head of a kid that they were in the stratosphere. And some of them were even in the stratosphere for adults, especially nowadays because they were topical at the time. But even so, it was, yes, multi-leveled, and you don't need everybody to get everything all at once. And so, yeah, it was an influence. Consider doing the Quest for Glory reboot. That's kind of what Road to Redemption is, a Quest for Glory style game with a totally different style. So, yes.
What is?
Road to Redemption is
Oh.
kind of Quest for Glory in an entirely new style, new looks, new technology,
And even more puns.
And even more puns.
Now, the reason it has even more puns is because I did the prototype room.
Oh no! Should you be using a mouse around so many kata? No, you're right.
It entertains them.
Yes. Mystery Science Theater 3000 had the same principle with their tricks. Basically, it's the airplane of a concept.
Yes.
Airplane.
Who did you hear about that from?
I don't know. The airplane threw every kind of joke they could throw into the mix to make that movie, and it isn't
And
funny the
repeated the
first
same
time.
joke
Yes, they
6 or 8
repeated it,
times.
and then they built on it, and it gets funnier when you're with a group of people. For
So
one
the
thing.
classic one is I picked a bad time to give up smoking.
Yes, and then they just topped it.
And then
the
they kept
entire
topping
time.
that.
Yes.
The wife accused the husband for his lack of direction, so he packed his stuff and right.
Okay. Summer Days looks great.
Get it.
Oh, good. Watch Lori pull a raffle out of her hat.
Okay,
She
ready?
has nothing up her sleeves. Okay. Yes.
Click on Open Giveaway.
Gift
Over
a
here.
sub to. All right. Open giveaway. I'm opening a giveaway. It's a raffle.
For Capia Code on GOG.
Very
All
good.
you have to do is type !raffle.
Packed his stuff and... I see. Yes. Hand raffle. First time viewer.
get it.
Good.
Wait, what was the joke? A wife accused the husband for his lack
of direction.
And ran?
I don't know.
No. And left? No, he right. I get it. He has a bad sense of direction.
Okay.
So instead of leaving, which would be packed his stuff and left,
okay, thank
he
you
packed
for
his stuff
explaining
and
again.
right.
Duh. Yeah.
You know, a joke that has to be explained is not funny.
Yeah, well. We have a lot of first-time people doing this raffle. Great. You can get his game. Did he pack his stuff and stay because he couldn't get out of the house? Oop, yes. Okay. All right, keep going. We still have people that have not in on
there are
this
people
raffle.
not yet in the raffle.
You guys want to win a game. Free game.
A game of Capia if you don't already own it. Donated by Antonov. What was your first name? Anna Antonov.
Roberta, do you have a link to that so that we could actually show them what we're trying to give away?
We could maybe find it over on somewhere.
Yeah, but we'd have to do a joke that has to be explained is funny. Okay, if you over explain it awkwardly, yes.
Why can't I bring up my?
Because you have to bring it up.
Google Chrome.
Okay, Google Chrome.
Okay, so we are looking for Capia.
Okay, adventure game trailer. There's a video. Okay, that's got to be it. Yep. Oh, thank you, Brainiac. There we go. Oh, this game. Okay.
Desktop.
It looks cool. Dive into the funky universe of Capia to help Stefan and Rennie in their adventures to solve the mystery of dome survivors. Play as both characters and uncover the origin of crisis that divided their world. Look at that game. Isn't that gorgeous?
Is that like the dome that came to Sarnath?
Explaining a joke is like dissecting a frog. After it's complete, you will understand it better and know its inner workings, but it's dead. Completely. Absolutely dead. Yes. If the
look at a fox.
It's a cat.
It's a fox.
Cat. At any rate, we are happy to give this away. So
It's such a literal list.
The joke is a joke.
Exactly what they are.
So yes, please sign up for this. 60 people that are not in on this raffle.
How do you know? Look at all these people.
I know there's a lot of people on the raffle.
Is there a count somewhere? It doesn't
say. There should be a count. But
all right, I'm going to close this giveaway.
Yeah.
If you haven't typed ! raffle yet, you're going to be too late.
But have you played the Colossal Cave? We had a long discussion on
Colossal Cave. Yeah, we started the stream that way, Todd, but we'll talk about it just a little bit. It was Colossal Cave. I first encountered it at UCLA.
You don't need to talk about it.
And I encountered it at GIAC.
We did.
And then I introduced Lori to it on my home computer,
It was
Lorelei.
called Adventure at the time. Just Adventure.
And Lori learned about the frustration horror of adventure games and decided that she didn't like adventure games. And that's why we decided we'd make role-playing games.
That's why we've done this all of our life. Yes.
Did we declare a winner?
We haven't declared a winner.
Oh, we have to pick a winner.
We have to pick a winner.
Go ahead, you pick
a winner. I will pick the magic winner right here.
Dun, dun, dun.
We attempted to pick a winner 5 times. Sadly, none of these 5 users were following your channel. What?
Say no. Did we have a weird button? No. Okay. Did they come through?
No.
What? Oh, come on. Winner, person that won. Shouldn't have to be followers. We didn't say they had to be followers. Join permission, everyone.
Huh.
Pick winner.
Okay, it's not working well. Okay.
Yes. Person.
How do we?
Oh well, that didn't work. Okay, what else could we do? Give me a die. Do you have a die, Andy? Somebody roll me a d20, please.
No, there's more than 20
there.
More than 20? Yeah.
Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, huit, neuf.
About as many.
10,
okay,
11,
so
12, 13, 14, 15.
Odd, I am a follower. Well, that just meant that they picked a.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That was about 22.
Okay, so roll a d.
All right, roll me a d25, please.
Yeah, it's just acting screwy. We don't worry about whether you're a follower or not. So you can roll a d.
Bang, roll d25. Let's see if that'll work. Nope.
Well, you could do it
I can
here,
do it in.
though.
I can do it in Discord.
You do it in Discord. Yes.
Do it to me one more time. I can do it in the one that we Harn.
Harn has one in it?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay.
I can never remember if it's Bang Roll or something else.
I never remember.
Okay, 25. That won't work, so I'll have to re-roll. It gave me a 25. Okay, 13.
13.
That'll
Now
work.
we know. We
13
have
worked.
a number 13 is the lucky one. Rolling in the deep. Yes. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep
Roll.
those doggies rolling. Rawhide. Okay.
Roll.
Uno, dos.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's funny. He was Nuf last time. 10, 11, 12, 13.
Ronald Dragster.
He wins all of these.
I know. Even
Ronald Dragster is the winner. He's won twice in the stream.
Stream is late for us a little bit. Raid, maybe? Yes, we're going to raid right now. Yay!
Okay, Ronald, we have your information. We'll get you a copy of code.
No, but please send us email.
Oh, send us a reminder email
Because
to
otherwise,
support@hero-u.net.
yes, you've been there, done that. Do it again. Yes, and that didn't work for us. So
And
now
we're now going
raid.
to exclamation point.
We are going to go
raid,
to poor Roberta in the middle of her.
Roberta CGG, which we had problems with in the past. Slash raid?
Maybe I saw a Mexican. Oh, I couldn't read it. Mexican magician who said he'd disappear on the count of 3. He said uno, dos, and then poof, he disappeared without a trace. Yes.
Without a trace. I like it.
I do like it. The
Ah,
raid has
we've
been
converted
created.
a raid.
We
Hooray!
are going to
All right,
raid them.
everybody, let's go over to
Yes.
Roberta's
No,
channel. That's
yes.
Natalie
43,
and Roberta.
43, 45. Come on,
We have
people.
59 people. We don't have everyone yet.
Come on, bye-bye. Thank you,
Bye,
everybody.
have fun.
We'll have fun.
Have
We're
fun
gonna
in the
raid.
Classic Gamers Guild.
Yes, we're going to raid now. Have fun. Join them. Talk. Farewell. See you
We love
next
you.
time. See you next time. 2 weeks
43.
from now. Okay, fine.
41. It's going down.
Oh, then
44.
we're going to raid fast.
On
Before
your
we-
mark. Get
That's
ready.
it.
Raiding
Raid.
now.
Welcome to the chat room. Raiding with a party of 43. Oh, we
We
lost
lost
people.
one. Oh, no.
Oh, well. Hopefully they have something going on. Okay.
Stream.